Hi, it's Emma here from Women's Health and Hormones. Today I'm talking about acne and more specifically how to balance your hormones naturally so you don't need the pill to control acne breakouts. Well, now I have a lot of experience working in this area. Earlier in my career I spent about 4 years working in a specialised skin clinic called the Psoriasis and Skin Clinic. I used to see around 70 to 80 patients per week at this clinic. Many of these patients, women in particular, were suffering from acne, and I experienced firsthand the suffering this was causing. And this was actually what sparked a lot of my interest initially in specialising in the area of treating hormonal imbalances. There's a few things to remember if you're suffering from acne. The first thing to remember is that acne is a systemic condition. It's presenting with skin symptoms which are on the surface, but this is really just the tip of the iceberg. The underlying mechanisms that are controlling the health of your skin and the presentation of acne are actually coming from within you. The only way to really get acne to go into remission is to address the underlying causes that are contributing to that symptomatic presentation. It's important also to remember that you can't cure acne. Acne is a genetic condition, so you'll always have that hereditary tendency, but there is so much that we can do naturally to get the condition to go into remission so that you're not experiencing active symptoms that are troubling you or that you're needing to address all of the time. And absolutely, there are so many ways that we can do this naturally without you needing to take the pill. The first step is to try and get an idea of what your hormonal profile is. We want to find out what the hormonal imbalance is that's actually driving the presentation of your symptoms. The easiest way to look into this to begin with is just go to the quiz that's on the website. The URL for the quiz is balancehormones.com.au/blog/quiz. If you click on that link, you'll find it will take you to the 3-minute hormone breakthrough quiz. And if you follow the instructions through the quiz, you'll come out with a bit of an idea at the end about what the underlying hormonal imbalance is that you may have that's actually causing your acne to flare up. The most common hormonal imbalance linked to presentations of acne is low progesterone. And this may be the case for you or it may not be the case for you. The important thing is to just identify what that is. So that's the first step. Once you've done the quiz, you might also decide that you want to confirm that diagnosis through hormone testing. So the quiz itself is just giving you a bit of an indicator of what your potential hormonal imbalance might be, but it's a great idea to follow that up with hormone testing, and saliva hormone testing is my preference for identifying a hormonal imbalance that's causing acne. Once you know what your hormonal imbalance is, then you can be really specific in taking the right herbs and nutrients to get your hormones back into balance, and that's different for every person. Just because you have acne, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll need exactly the same herbs and nutrients that another of my patients who also has acne may require. So there's no one-size-fits-all approach here. It's a matter of finding out what your unique hormonal blueprint is and addressing that blueprint as best we can. Hormonal imbalance, though, again, is just part of the entire picture. When we're treating acne, it's almost like we're trying to put together the pieces of the puzzle. What are the other underlying causes that are, number one, contributing to the acne flaring up? But number two, what are the underlying causes that are driving the hormonal imbalance for you in the first place? If you can go into that deeper level and address the other underlying causes, you'll find that you'll really get long-term improvements in your acne, but also your hormonal regulation. And as you start to correct your hormonal regulation, you'll find that your general well-being, mood, energy levels, concentration, there's a whole range of symptoms that will also improve, which is good news. The next step is having a look at what's going on with your gut. Any issues with gut function will always cause a flare-up of acne. Remember, your skin is a secondary organ of elimination. Any waste products that your body's not able to eliminate efficiently through the bowel will try to come out through the skin. So it's really in your best interest to make sure that your gut is as healthy as possible and that you're having a regular daily bowel movement. This also has a direct impact on your hormonal regulation, because if your body's finding it difficult to eliminate waste products efficiently through the bowel, you'll find it will also be finding it difficult to eliminate hormonal metabolites. the byproducts of hormonal detoxification. If your body can't eliminate those efficiently through the bowel, again, they'll be reabsorbed from the bowel back into the bloodstream. And it just perpetuates the cycle of imbalance in the body. Make sure you're having a regular bowel movement. If you're suffering from constipation, it will slow down the elimination of waste products and hormonal metabolites even more from the bowel. So we want to make sure that that bowel movement is happening on a daily basis. If you find that you're suffering from sluggish bowel function or constipation, it's important to make sure that you're including enough fibre, particularly soluble fibre, in your diet. And my recommendation here is to make sure that you're including some flaxseed meal. Flaxseed meal is fantastic. It's a great source of soluble fibre that will help to keep your bowel movements regular, but it also contains a phytoestrogen which is called a lignin. Lignins lock onto your body's estrogen receptor sites and can trick your body into modulating its own production of estrogen. So if your estrogen levels are too high, and that combined with the low progesterone is contributing to the flare-ups of your acne, flaxseed meal is a really safe and easy way to address that. Because it's a modulator, it doesn't even matter if you're not sure that you've got high estrogen. If you've got low estrogen, flaxseed meal can also help. Flaxseed meal also contains a range of anti-inflammatory essential fatty acids, and these will help to dampen down the inflammatory response in your body. And we know that acne is an inflammatory condition, so anything that has an anti-inflammatory action will be really beneficial in improving the health of your skin. I'd recommend you probably start with about 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed meal each day and gradually take your time to increase that to 2 tablespoons, just listening to your body as you go along. There aren't many women who react to flaxseed meal, but there's always that possibility for an idiosyncratic reaction. So you just want to go slowly and give your body a chance to get used to it. A great way to include the flaxseed meals in a smoothie, or you can sprinkle it on your breakfast, or include it on a salad, for example. You need to grind the flaxseed meal. If you're having whole flax seeds, whilst that can help to increase the number of bowel movements you're having, you won't absorb any of the beneficial phytoestrogens or essential fatty acids from the whole flaxseed. You need to grind it. The best thing you can do is buy a packet of linseeds, whole linseeds from the supermarket, and just grind enough to last you for a week, and store it in a glass food storage container in the fridge. That way it'll keep the ground linseeds really fresh. Linseeds contain those high levels of essential fatty acids, which means they'll oxidize quickly. So you want to make sure that you store them in the fridge and that they're fresh when you eat them. So that's tip number 1. We want to really keep the bowel movement happening. You need to drink plenty of water as well. 2 litres plus per day is essential. You'll find if you get dehydrated, the flax seeds can actually potentially make the situation worse because they're a soluble fibre source, which means that you need to have lots of water to help them work properly in the body. Hydrating your system will also help to flush waste products through your system and reduce the possibility of waste products being eliminated through the skin. So maintaining your hydration is essential. Another important area to look at is optimizing your nutrient status. We know that there are some nutrients that are really important for promoting both hormonal regulation and skin healing. So if you can include a range of these nutrients in your diet, it'll be beneficial for both your hormones and for helping to heal the skin more efficiently. We already mentioned the essential fatty acids, which have that anti-inflammatory response in the body. I also recommend you try and eat plenty of green leafy vegetables. Green leafy vegetables are full of antioxidants and phytonutrients that promote skin healing. They're also very alkaline, so they'll help to dampen down acidity in the body, and we know that increased acidity is linked to increased inflammation and can continue to flare up cycles of acne. So we want to try and dampen down that inflammatory response and dampen down acidity in your body as well, and green vegetables are fantastic for that. The best leafy greens to include are things including broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, fresh herbs like mint and parsley are wonderful. Even green vegetables like snow peas, asparagus, any of those leafy greens will really help. Just remember, the vegetables from the brassica family need to be cooked before you eat them. Kale is also a member of the brassica family, and I have heard from quite a few women that they're including kale in their juices and their smoothies, and they're having it raw. Kale's a great source of these phytonutrients and antioxidants that are excellent for healing acne, but make sure you cook it first. Lightly steam your kale or lightly stir fry it. If you're having it raw in a smoothie or any of those brassicas raw, they can impede and slow down your thyroid function. And we don't want to fix one problem in your health and then cause another problem as a result. So just make sure that you cook the brassicas. But having lots of other green vegetables raw is fantastic. Juicing's great. Making juice like cucumber, celery, mint and parsley, great way to boost up those phytonutrients. Green smoothies are great for the same reason, but try and vary up the greens you're including. If you're only ever including spinach in your green smoothie, you're going to get some issues there because spinach contains phytates and oxalates that reduce your body's ability to absorb other nutrients. So just mix it up and include lots of different greens. Change the foods around that you're eating. Don't eat the same foods every day. You always want to try and have variety in your diet as much as possible to minimize the impact of any food intolerances, but also just to give your body the best opportunity to get maximum nutrition by incorporating a broad variety of foods. Just having lots of green vegetables with your meals is important too. So steaming a big bunch of green vegetables, making sure that half of your plate is full of green vegetables is a great way to incorporate the greens. Zinc's another really important mineral to promote skin healing, and zinc's not high in green vegetables, so you want to make sure you include other zinc-containing foods in your diet. For vegetarians, the best zinc-containing food is actually pumpkin seeds. So including a small handful of pumpkin seeds every day, great, fantastic thing to do. If you're not a vegetarian and you want to try and incorporate zinc from other food sources as well, eggs are a great source of zinc. Red meat is also a good source of zinc, and even legumes actually for vegetarians. Legumes include a fair bit of zinc too. So including zinc-containing foods in the diet every day, really, really helpful. If you are going to use any topical treatment to try to heal your skin more quickly and manage your symptoms, you must make sure that it's natural. If you're using topical treatment that's not natural or organic, it's highly likely that your body will be absorbing xenoestrogens, which are synthetic estrogen mimickers, through the skin. Now, these are hormonal disruptors. Whilst you might initially see an improvement in your skin symptoms by using these, in the long term it actually feeds the condition, because we know that exposure to the xenoestrogens will disrupt your natural hormonal regulation, and we need to balance the hormones in order for you to see long-term improvements in acne without using the pill. So choosing natural, organic, topical products is a really great idea. If you can try and find a formulation that contains herbal extracts, essential anti-inflammatory essential oils, and even some organic fruit acids, you'll find that very beneficial. But try and steer away from the chemically laden skin products. They'll flare it up in the long run. You want to see long-term improvements in your skin symptoms. Do the best job that you can to address as many of the underlying triggers as possible. That'll give you the best chance of actually getting your skin condition to go into remission, and it'll give you the best chance of balancing your hormones naturally without needing to take the pill. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.